Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Cayes. Chapter 1. This chapter introduces Charlie Gordon, a 32-year-old man with mental disability. He works at a bakery and attends night school at Beckman School for Retarded Adults to learn reading and writing. Charlie wants to get smarter and volunteers for an experiment at Beckman University that promises to increase his intelligence. He begins writing journal entries as part of the experiment, showing his excitement and hope for the future. In Chapter 2, which is also his second progress report, Charlie describes taking the Rorschach test at Beckman University. He feels nervous and frustrated because he can't see any images in the ink blots, only ink blots. Charlie worries that he failed the test and might not be chosen for the experiment, but his determination to become smarter remains strong. In Chapter 3, Charlie writes about meeting with Dr. Strauss and Professor Nemore. They are the scientists leading the experiment. They explain that the outcome of the experiment is uncertain, but Charlie is eager to participate because he has always wanted to be smart. He also mentions not knowing where his family is, highlighting his loneliness and hoping for a better life through the experiment. In Chapter 4, Charlie returns to the university for more tests, including solving a printed maze, which he struggles to understand. Researcher Bert Selden introduces him to Algernon, a white mouse trained to run through a maze. They race, and Algernon wins every time. This experiment increases Charlie's curiosity and determination to get smarter. In his fifth progress report, Charlie is excited to learn that he has been accepted into the experiment, which will involve surgery. He reflects on a debate between Dr. Strauss and Professor Nemore about his suitability. Dr. Strauss believes Charlie's motivation is a strength, while Professor Nemore is concerned that Charlie's low IQ might complicate his adjustment to increase intelligence. Despite these concerns, Charlie eagerly anticipates the opportunity.
In this chapter, Charlie is excited because he has been accepted for an experimental surgery aimed at increasing his intelligence. He recalls Dr. Strauss and Professor Nemore arguing about his participation. Dr. Strauss supports Charlie's inclusion because of his strong motivations to learn, while Professor Nemore is concerned that Charlie's low IQ might prevent him from coping with the changes post-surgery. In Chapter 7, it details the events leading up to and following the surgery. Charlie is frightened, but undergoes the procedure while unconscious. His initial nurse Hilda is replaced after suggesting the surgery might go against God's will. Miss Kenyon, Charlie's teacher from the Beckman School for Retarded Adults, visits him and emphasizes the need for hard work to become intelligent. Charlie expresses his desire to get smarter and reconnect with his family. In Chapter 8, Charlie experiences frustration with his lack of progress and becomes increasingly angry at Algernon. He notices changes in his thinking and suffers from headaches. At work, he learns that Algernon also underwent the surgery. Charlie receives a learning machine and starts therapy sessions. He has strange dreams and faces mockery from coworkers. However, he begins to sympathize with Algernon and starts private sessions to learn to read. Starting on April 1, This chapter sees Charlie taking over the duties of a departing bakery worker. A joke by Frank and Joe that backfires when Charlie excels and earns a promotion from Mr. Donner. Frank and Joe are angry about this turn of events. Charlie's writing, grammar, and punctuation improve significantly. He begins to read, learning arithmetic and geography, and his IQ approaches 100. His memory also starts to strengthen. Charlie recalls his mother, his sister's birth, and a disturbing incident where his mother was afraid he would harm his sister. Though he cannot remember the details clearly, at a work party, Charlie is made to dance with a woman, while others joke about him.
In chapters 10 and 11, Charlie undergoes significant changes that impact both his personal life and professional relationship. Overall, Charlie's rapid intellectual growth, emotional struggle, and the complexity of his interaction with others as he navigates the challenges brought about his transition. Charlie's relationship with Nemore is strange, making him feel a lab experiment. He has nightmares and recalls family conflict. A fight with Alice shows his transformation has hurt the relationship. He realizes he's become self-centered and angry. A scary encounter with a pregnant woman leads to a mob chase, but he escapes, feeling guilty and afraid. In chapters 13 and 14, Charlie's experiences reflect a deepening understanding of his own identity, his relationship, and the complexity of his transformation. Overall, it illustrates Charlie's ongoing struggle to reconcile his past with his present, his quest for identity and meaning, and the profound impact of his transition on his relationship and self-perception.
Charlie returns to the lab and learns about Algernon's declining intelligence. He decides to visit the Warren home to understand his potential future. He reads psychology texts, but finds them lacking. Charlie visits the Warren home feeling depressed and meets the head psychiatrist, observing the lack of focus on rehabilitation in the facility. Alice visits him and they have a conversation. Later, Faye visits, causing Charlie to feel conflicted about his feelings for Alice. Returning home, he finds Faye with a new boyfriend. Charlie remains dedicated to solving Algernon's regression. At a party, he behaves rudely, resulting in a heated argument with Nimmer, which makes Charlie realize his arrogance. He writes a letter acknowledging the flaw in the experiment. After Algernon dies, Charlie becomes fearful for his own future. He visits his mother and sister, confronting past traumas and resolving some family issues. Charlie's mental state deteriorates and he contemplates suicide but decides against it. He struggles with memory loss and coordination. Alice offers support and they become closer. Charlie continues to decline, finding solace in reading and avoiding people who mock him. He returns to his old job as a janitor and is defended by his former co-workers. He visits Alice's class, realizing he no longer belongs. Charlie decides to go to the Warren home to avoid sympathy and ask for flowers on Algernon's grave.